Hi learners, I am Simran and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Psychology Globe. I hope you all are having a great time. So today we are going to discuss our last module on the topic of stress, under which we are going to cover coping strategies and some common stress management techniques. So before we start the video, please like and share it, and in case you are new to the channel, please subscribe. So let's begin. So today we are going to discuss coping. Coping means our ability to deal with something, and if we are talking about stress, then necessarily we are talking about coping abilities to deal with stress. So coping is a person's subjective ability to deal with stress, because every person, they have different life experiences, they have different thoughts, values, belief systems. So a person's methodology to deal with stress is going to be different. It is going to be different for each and every person. So why do we study coping? We study coping in order to develop some strategies which can help us to deal with stress. So there are basically three strategies that are studied under coping. The first one is task-oriented strategy. Task-oriented strategy is considered to be the most effective strategy for stress management. Why? Because task-oriented strategy involves rational thinking. It involves making rational decisions. Now, task orientation means that a person will carefully evaluate the problem which is causing the stress, and he or she will try to find alternative solutions without getting emotionally affected. Second is emotion-oriented strategy. Emotion-oriented strategy means taking the help of your emotions in order to deal with stress. Now, this could go either way. A person might display positive emotions, that is giving personal reassurance to oneself, staying optimistic, or a person can also display negative emotions to deal with stress, such as anger and frustration. And the third strategy is avoidance-oriented strategy. Avoidance-oriented strategy, it is not considered a very great method to deal with stress, because it works only to a certain extent. Why? Because a person avoids the situation, a person neglects the situation of stress, and he or she completely denies it. It can be done by talking to a close one, it can be done by spending leisure time, but ultimately you have to deal with that particular stressful situation, which can only be possible if you work out another method of dealing with stress instead of denying it or neglecting it. So now let's discuss some stress management techniques. The very first technique is relaxation, and by relaxation we mean physical relaxation, which could be obtained by a number of ways, such as stretching of muscles. And how stretching of muscles can help? It will increase the flow of blood in your body, which makes you feel more calm, relaxed, and in case your mind and body are stable, you take more effective and sound decisions. And the second way of obtaining physical relaxation is exercise, and it helps especially when you are having negative feelings such as anger and frustration. So instead of venting them out in some undesirable activity, you can just vent them out in exercise. The second technique is meditation. There is a myth about meditation. Some people think that it is a state of unconsciousness, but actually it is a state of altered consciousness where you are more relaxed and you are temporarily disconnected from everything that goes around you. So it is a kind of periodic detoxification for your mind. Then the third technique is biofeedback. Now, biofeedback is very important whenever a person is undergoing stress, especially serious level of stress such as post-traumatic stress. Then that stress is accompanied by physical symptoms. For example, a person's stomach may remain upset for a lot of days. So this means that even if stress is a mental health issue, it will have effects on your physical health, which you must notice in order to regulate your stress levels. Fourth is cognitive behavioral techniques, which in short is known as CBT. So this is a kind of professional help which is taken in order to relieve your stress. A professional psychologist, they are going to assess your stressful situation by your own point of view. Then they are going to provide alternative solutions, and in case you like any solution, then they assess its effects, and then they assess its application. This fifth technique is rational thinking. So whenever you are undergoing yourself through a stressful situation, try to think as rationally as possible, because at times we get carried away with our emotions, and we may take unsound decisions as well. And sixth is self-care. Whenever a person is undergoing stress, then chances are there, if you neglect that stressful situation, or if you neglect your health, especially your mental health, then there are chances that stress can also take form of mental health disorders. So this was all about the stress management techniques, and now we are done with the module of stress. I'll be coming up with new psychological module very soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye.